Hey guys, we're still making our journey through the 15 topics that I've discovered to be most important based on my research on LinkedIn jobs. Even though I don't agree with them at some intuition level, I don't want to mislead, I don't want to confuse my intuition with what I found in the actual job descriptions after telling them up by word. So I'm following what I found in the data so that it helps you prepare for the right topics for your interview. But before I start though, let me make the slideshow so you can see it better. So here are the 15 topics. The ones at the top, like cloud and CI/CD, are more important than the ones at the bottom, like Docker containers and system design. Having said that, like I said before, some of them I feel like they're not the right place, like containers should be higher than number 14. But data is data, intuition is intuition. So today's question has to do with cloud, in particular in AWS. Even though it's AWS, it can be a generic question about cloud storage in general. So the question is, what are some of the storage solutions AWS provides, and why are they different? So here, the interviewer is really probing to see if you understand that disks and data volume um, are not one thing, right? When we write to S3 buckets, they're slow, compared to others, but that's okay because for our use case, we don't it doesn't they don't have to be fast, right? But they're highly reliable, like nine nines or something crazy like that, right? That is not so true of other solutions. That's the whole idea. The idea is you have to know why these different types of storage solution exist in the cloud so you can choose the right one based on your use case. Before I get to the answer, just a quick reminder that Floyd Spencer, floydspencer.com, he is my career advisor. He's been my advisor for years. He's very passionate about helping people. Please sign up for his 1 hour sessions, one-to-one session for free that he's got. It will really help you. Again, I don't get a penny because you sign up. This is not my thing. I just want him. I just want the world to know about him because he's so passionate about helping people get jobs, get promoted, and whatnot. So, get to the answer. So, these are the four types of storage that AWS provides. First of all, most famous one, S3, is object storage. You are just putting files there, right? And they're slow, like I mentioned before, but they're highly available. Block storage, these are the fastest. You could attach these EBS volumes into a virtual machines, and they will be just like a disk physically attached to a physical machine. That's how fast they are. But because they're fast, they are not as robust. They can break, and they can stop functioning. So you have to have multiple layers of redundancy when you have EBS that you have to do yourself in most cases. File storage like NFS and FSx. I don't even know what FSx is, but anyway, NFS is a really old, reliable solution. People have gotten where for file storages that are somewhere in between EBS and object storage. Right, they're not as slow as S3, but they're not as fast as EBS, but they're somewhere in between. But the difference between EBS and NFS is EBS is typically attached to a particular virtual machines. NFS is a network file storage, so multiple machines can read and write to NFS at the same time. Because they're through the network, they're a little bit slower than EBS, but they are in a because they're network, they're more redundant. Okay, having said that, let's move down to the last one, data transfer. This is a really funny one. I don't know if you've seen images of actual truck showing up to your data center to copy data from your data center that they literally drive to AWS data center and upload there. These are solutions for massive data sets, like multiple petabytes and or maybe tens of petabytes, maybe hundreds of petabytes, right? Since then, they've come up with Snowball and Snowcone. I don't even know what they really are. I'm guessing they're smaller version of the same thing. Here, the idea is not live data at all, but massive amount of data. You see how that's different than the top three, right? So again, the idea for this interview question is for you to understand the use cases where each one of these apply. and Google has similar services, as Azure has similar services. The idea is the same. Doesn't matter what they ask you about. You can just say, look, I know AWS, and in AWS, these are the types, right? Because you can then say and prove that you understand the differences of needs and difference of the solutions. Okay, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.